M.C. Escher created this print entitled 8 Heads way before he knew anything about tessellations. It was indeed plain or surface filling, like in tessellations, and did tile any size of surface with no gaps or overlaps. I've outlined all 8 heads. Escher arranged 4 right side up and 4 upside down. And as I've mentioned before, the outline choice is arbitrary. You might see online a different area selected or even the pattern rotated. As long as the whole of the design is selected, that will be the stamp, or in this case, the printing plate. Stamps can have any shape. This one has very simple edges. It depends what you place inside the outline. Whereas tiles, on the other hand, are rectangular geometric shapes. 8 characters within this M.C. Escher tile. Here I'm tiling the surface or plane using a cropped tile of that first image we looked at. Keeping in mind here that M.C. Escher accomplished this by hand, it lines up pretty well to tile any size surface. Here's a quick series showing the drawing process for Lean On Me, also created in the same symmetry group as M.C. Escher's 8 Heads. The original character was boxed in tight in a slightly skewed rectangle. Then a bit of intuition was allowed to peek through to extend a helping hand over the shoulder of the next instance of the character. This is a good example of the term no overlaps in the definition of tessellations. Purists using the classic definition where it says no overlaps and no gaps. Hand over the shoulder here could be an illegal maneuver, but rules are elastic sometimes when it comes to art. To solve this, you could simply outline the tile in a different manner, include the hand over the shoulder, as I have done with the black outline. It's still a favorite. Lots of empathy here. Now let's look at both of these outlines. The base outline for M.C. Escher's 8 Heads and the outline for Lean On Me. 8 characters within the Escher tile and a single character within the other tile. It just blows me away how the outline can be so similar on these 2 tiles, but the topics so different. Both of these are simply wiggly, squarish shapes. Very simple edges. It so depends on what you can place inside the outline. And the possibilities are endless. Escher used a square grid. Lean On Me is within a slightly skewed grid. If you were lucky enough to have a class on tessellations in school, you possibly recognize those lines cut with a pair of scissors, a piece of cardboard taped to the other side of your square, and the same maneuver done for the top to the bottom. Sometimes there's a surprise offset, left-right, when dealing with this symmetry group. It depends if you started with a rectangular grid or a skewed grid. You haven't done anything wrong. It's the nature of the symmetry group. If the rectangle is skewed, it will still tile the plane perfectly, but will require an offset when copying the tile vertically. And the offset is a result of the original grid you had when you started drawing. Not quite a 50-50 bricklaying pattern, but similar in the horizontal movement. This is when you can decide as you export a drawing if you will recolor the tile itself once, or save a large expanse of the drawing and recolor each instance. The only time I found this type of tile troublesome is when I was converting the tile to vector. The alignment was a headache. Your choice. Once you truly start examining various artists' tessellations, you might start to see if their grids are perpendicular or skewed.